What's up guys, it's Chris. Today bringing you guys a video on another thing that I think in my opinion is kind of dying out and I really wish it wasn't, and that's the storytelling in video games and the campaign modes. I just feel like campaigns really aren't as in-depth anymore and they're not really as good as they used to be. And for this video I'm going to use the opening mission from Call of Duty World War II and the mission from Halo 3 called Covenant to kind of prove my point. And really I'm just going to show the differences on, in my opinion, Covenant's one of the greatest missions in any game of all time, and I really just want to show that in comparison to what Call of Duty put out. And my main issues with the mission in Call of Duty and what's wrong with it in my head is just the lack of control it gives the players. Throughout the whole mission, just given to you through cutscenes, and everything you see is a cutscene, so there's really no fear of dying, and like there's no like intense moment because almost every part of it's a cutscene. And then rolling right off of that, the mission moves straight into a one-way linear track where you just walk down a hallway shooting at people like it's a shooting range. And in my opinion, that's just really what's wrong with the game. So to start off this video, looking at the Call of Duty mission, the opening of the game, whenever you're running through the beach, almost all of that is scripted events. So the first thing wrong with this mission is just the first 2 minutes and 36 seconds of the video, and I went through and I've timed this, is completely cutscene, 100% cutscene. You can look around, but you have no control of your character. You're basically just watching these events unfold in front of you. And from that moment on, there's a 13-second segment, I believe. I think I did the math right. About 13 seconds where it's you walking up to the beach, where you cut to another cutscene till you're 3 minutes and 16 seconds into this mission. So out of the first 3 minutes and 16 seconds, 3 minutes and 3 seconds of this is strictly cutscenes, just you moving around and not really having any control of your character. It's just you're on a rail. You can't see anything different except for what the game wants you to see. And then from that, you have about, I believe, once again, my math is correct, 36 seconds of you running up through gunfire, which, I mean, it's supposed to be a very heroic thing. It's like the actual events of what happened. It looks real cool. It's real cinematic. But after that 36-second span of gameplay, you're hit with another cutscene. And the cutscene does have a quick time event in it, but overall, as of now, being in this mission, you're about 4 minutes and 25 seconds in this mission, and you have played for a total of, I think, 50 seconds. And that's my biggest issue with the games now, is it's like you're watching a movie, and if I wanted to watch a movie, I'd go watch Saving Private Ryan or something like that. But instead, I bought the game to play this and actually be a part of this and experience the stuff that the developers have created. But with that being said, all there is I got 13 seconds of gameplay. The rest is like a movie. And then once you do finally actually get in the mission, I mean, overall the mission's not that bad. It's just there's lots of things wrong with it, and it could have been so much better. Somehow, games like Medal of Honor, the PC one, I forget what the game is called, was able to nail this a lot better than somehow Call of Duty could in 2018. Now, in this part of the mission, it's really just a shooting range. You're walking down a straight line, shooting at everything in your path. And that's why, another reason why I think this mission sucks is there's really no control. Like, you really can't, like, flank this building, flank this building. Like, if they gave you objectives and you had multiple routes to attack them, it'd make the game just feel a lot more realistic and give it a lot more sense of depth, instead of you just walking on this one-way track shooting at everything in front of you. And then from there, the mission goes on to where you're clearing the bunkers, and it's still kind of just a very linear section, bunker to bunker, close hallways. And another part of this mission this part actually pissed me off so much, I almost quit playing the game, was I don't mind the quick time events. I actually enjoyed them because it was very reminiscent of my first Call of Duty, which was Call of Duty 3, where they're always a quick time event. But just the matter of once your teammate gets stabbed, I forget his name, but he gets stabbed and you drag him, and it turns into an arcade shootout, like one of those games whenever you go to an arcade in like a mall or something like that, and you're just on scale, you're dragging him, it stops, 3 enemies pop up in front of you, you drag him a little farther, more enemies pop up, and it was just the dumbest thing I think I've ever seen in any type of video game. It felt like an arcade. There was no sense of, like, if you look at Modern Warfare 1, for example, whenever you're carrying McMillan, I believe, or Macmillan, however you pronounce it, out of the, after the helicopter lands by him and he sprains his ankle, I believe is what happens, how, like, you get to take complete control of that. Instead, this game just puts you on this very linear scale where you can't have any type of movement whatsoever, and you're forced to just kind of, it's literally like playing an arcade machine. There's actually machines right by the movie theater where I live, where it's the exact same thing, where it's like you're inside a zombie house in some kind of zombie mansion. Like, you move forward 15 steps and you stop, your guy pulls up his gun and you shoot at like 6 things on screen, and then it goes on to the next section. That's what the whole game just kind of felt like to me after that, where it's like, put you in this section, kill a couple people, move on to the next part. In my head, it's what's wrong with gaming now, and what's wrong with the storylines is just there's really no depth to it. You're just forced on linear scales and forced to move where the game wants you to move. as it throws stuff on you. It's like a whole, I messed that up. It's like a roller coaster ride almost now, all these games where they put you on it and you just kind of follow the path as things jump out in front of you and things jump out around you, and that affects you. However, it's really just like a ride at any amusement park whatsoever. Now comparing that to the mission in Halo 3 called Covenant, which in my opinion is one of the best missions of all time. It's just, first of all, both missions have a cutscene that's real cool in the opening. Like the D-Day cutscene is you guys getting a speech about fighting for freedom and so on. I believe it was fighting for freedom. Don't quote me on that. And then the Halo 1 is about you guys having to stop the Covenant at all costs before they activate the Halo rings. And the issue with both of these missions really breaks down to is they both have amazing openings. They both look to be fantastic. When you look at the opening of this Halo mission, the mission starts out and immediately gives you full control of everything around you. Anything you look at, you have full control of. You can move, you can go the high route, you can go the low route. Every approach you have is completely yours. You can do whatever you want with this approach. In comparison to the Call of Duty one, where they take this big battle that's supposed to be amazing, and like the Battle of D-Day is supposed to be this giant epic United States push through where you push through the enemy lines. But instead, you're just kind of watching it happen. Compared to Halo, when you're trying to stop all the Halo rings from being activated at once, and there's just, you can go wherever you want to go, you can do whatever you want to do. And another part that really just made this mission so much better, and what shows the good storytelling, is not only how long the mission is. A Call of Duty mission took me, I want to say, 10 minutes to beat, 15 minutes to beat. I was kind of running through it pretty fast, and then the Halo mission, just the amount of time it took, I think it took me 30 minutes to get through. And there's all these different amazing parts to it. I believe at one part you're fighting scarabs, and there's this giant boss fight where you're trying to take down the scarabs. There's these air battles throughout it. And then there's a part where you team up with the Flood to stop the Halo rings. And as you push down, then they turn on you at the end after you guys kill the Prophet of Truth? Regret? One of the prophets? I don't know. You kill one of the prophets. I haven't played the mission about a month. But it's just the things you can do in, for example, Halo 3, the amount of freedom your character is given really immerses everyone, in my opinion, everyone who plays it into the situation, because you are now in control of what you do. You're not on this one set path where you're forced to run down it and you're forced to fight on that path. And it just, like I said, Call of Duty now feels like a shooting range in the campaign. And I didn't beat the campaign fully. I played about halfway through, and it just went through a lot of those moments where, like, when you're in the bell tower, for example, and a shot's taken at the bell tower and it's collapsing, and you're supposed to get this real sense of fear, like your character's gonna die, but I don't know, in my opinion, it's just kind of corny, because you know your character's not gonna die. They're not gonna kill him halfway through the campaign and switch to someone else. Just all these things are falling around you, and you're sitting there watching the whole time like, yep, should have died then, should have died then. And I think that's what the game did wrong. And even in my opinion, if I had to give Call of Duty a better way to open up this mission, I think they should have did it how Battlefield 1 did, where whenever you died, it cuts to a different player's perspective, a different person from World War II. And in my opinion, I think it'd be so much more impactful, because Battlefield's big thing was about how they thought it was a war to end all wars, and about just the mindset of back then. And the Call of Duty campaign was not really ready to do anything deep like that whatsoever. They really just wanted to, I don't even know, I guess it was just something they kind of guess they had to throw in because every other Call of Duty game had it, and most games have it now. Battlefield really took big risks with how they wanted to portray the campaign, and Call of Duty just did not want to take the risk. When you look at campaigns such as World at War and so on, how World at War has this real gritty tone from the second you boot it up. It's got like the background music that's real eerie. And it really portrays the fears of war, and like just it's not really lighthearted. It's very realistic and somber, and that's how I think it should have been. Instead of this game where it's a lot more upbeat in my mind, and not really any fear like how World at War portrayed it, how World at War had a very gritty campaign where like people just wanted to survive, and World War II just really didn't have that. It just kind of, once again, felt like a movie. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. If you guys aren't subscribed already, make sure to hit the subscribe button as well as the post notification to make sure to catch all my videos. Drop a like as well, and I don't know, just let me know what you guys think. In my opinion, I feel like campaigns just aren't as focused on anymore, and in the Call of Duty's campaign case, it just really wasn't that interesting. It wasn't that scary. It wasn't portrayed the right way in my mind. But I don't know, let me know what you guys think down in the comments below, and talk to you guys later.